this episode, prepare to pick your jaw off the floor. We got 5 ultimate sports cars that'll blow your mind. We're checking out crazy customs.
They 32-inch tires.
I've never seen rims that big before, ever.
Catching some converted classics.
I've had this car up to 117 miles an hour. You're not supposed to do that here.
And seeing sports cars that do more than just drive.
The Scuba is the only real diving car in the world.
I want to try to make my own full-scale remote control car.
You think you know sports cars? Brother, you ain't seen nothing.
I love this car.
Man, have I got a sweet ride to start.
Everything was custom for the wheels. I went bigger. You're gonna stand out.
And to maximize attention, this Camaro is also a chameleon. This is a custom Camaro like you've never seen.
It's just basically a 2016 Camaro custom paint job, custom interior.
And the main attraction?
They 32-inch tires. I just wanted it to really, like, stand out.
That's what I'm talking about. CJ tore this Camaro apart and started over. In just 8 months, he customized every single inch to create a total head turner. Mixing passion and profession, CJ managed Crusader Customs and built a bling ride with insane 32-inch rims. Way to go, brother man. But how do you dream up a ride this radical?
My inspiration for the car was growing up, I used to like lowriders. I had a passion for cars probably ever since I can remember. Once I got older and I bought my first vehicle and started making more money, I just started doing crazy stuff.
Amen to that. Go crazy or go home.
All right, we got the 32-inch custom-made Ford Giottos. This was the first set in the world of 32-inch Ford Giotto Blancos. I got them painted to match the car. I don't got no door handles. So I got these little buttons in the inside that I push, and it pops the door open. I have 3 speakers running along the door. I have an Xbox. I have 2 27-inch screens in there. I have custom lights that change colors, kind of like every RGB color that you could think of. So whatever I make this move to, that's what color the lights go to. The first step was ordering the wheels, which are custom made. After that, I took it to my friends. He did the molds for the fiberglass. It was in the paint shop for maybe a month and a half, 2 months. It's not yellow no more.
First, the base coat it's a teal. After that, you gotta spray on like a copper pearl. You gotta come in with the rest of the colors. Clear coated the whole car, just to get that extra shine. If you look at the car, it looks like a mirror. I mean, he was kind of nervous to get the car back, but the car came out beautiful. It was worth the wait.
Ernesto pulled off a badass paint job. As soon as it hit the streets, this color-changing Camaro was demanding attention.
I mean, how often you see a car with wheels that big, right? First, you're just sort of like, huh? And then you start really getting drawn into it and seeing like the amount of effort that goes into it.
And the paint almost goes from just a flat, like teal color, and then when you get into the sunlight, then it goes into a metallic
Right,
and
so you
switches
get all
to
sorts
purple.
of fades.
And I've never seen rims that big before, ever.
Riding with the 32-inch wheels, I mean, of course it's gonna affect the ride. You know, nothing's gonna be the same when you modify something. But a lot of people, you know, look at the car and say, he can't turn when I can do a full U-turn. or the car is slow, but I can get on the highway and do the speed limit. Like, it still gets up, it still goes.
But making crazy dreams a reality does not come cheap.
The money I spent, it was a lot.
Yeah, but how much is a lot?
Honestly, I don't keep track of that. Like, when you're doing something you love, like, the money really don't matter. It's fun, man. It's fun. It's fun. When you out there on the streets and you got a car sitting up like a truck, it don't matter how they looking at you. Some people gonna love it, some people gonna hate it, but the most important thing is that you love it and that you appreciate what you built.
From ridiculous rims to driving and diving. Our next custom ride dares to dive where few cars have been before.
It's our icon, the biggest milestone in our history.
Are you ready for some spy movie style moves? Because this ride drives and dives underwater. Man, that's insane.
The Scuba is the only real diving car in the world.
Designer Frank brought a cinematic icon into the real world.
The idea suddenly came from this vehicle. We all know it from James Bond. It was fiction, it was Hollywood, it never really happened. So our claim was to put all that fiction into reality, and we made it happen.
The Ringspeed Scuba is a world first, a concept sports car that drives on land and underwater. This insane ride has 3 rear electric engines supported by 2 front jets. And with a water and salt-proof interior, it's even ready for the ocean.
We built up our Scuba based on a Lotus Elise. We did not redesign the Elise, but the inside, all its technology has completely changed. Took out the internal combustion engine and replaced it with an electric one. We, of course, need not only material which dries off, but we also need connections to the compressed air for people to breathe.
Yep, this car comes with underwater oxygen masks.
With my left hand, I control the props in the back. With my right hand, the power of the jets within the hood of the vehicle to propel water out in the back. And I also steer with that. And then the instrument to tell me all the status of the batteries, the depth, speed, and so forth. Here in the back, we see the 2 propellers, and like a ship, we can control going left or going right.
This baby smashes out 75 miles an hour on land, but just 3 miles an hour underwater. Sure, it's not super fast, but hey, there ain't a lot of traffic 10 feet below sea level.
When we showed off the first time the Scuba, I mean, we were flooded by journalists. We had a dozen of serious people interested in the vehicle, yet we declined the request because to build a car which can drive on the road, which is able to go in the water and to be exposed with corrosion is extremely complex.
No doubt.
So we felt it's better not to duplicate and just keep it as a one-off vehicle. Would have been too much risk probably to scale the production up and have those cars out on the water someplace.
Man, this is absolutely crazy. Somebody write me a check for 1.5 million bucks. I need myself a Scuba. From a splashing Submariner to a converted cruiser. This is one Porsche with a surprising twist under the hood.
Classic, sleek, electric.
Say what? A vintage ride with the latest in contemporary power.
And my name is Mark Bush. I have a Porsche 914. It's a 1973 E model.
The Porsche 914 has a bad rep, the most unloved Porsche ever made. But Mark was determined to rewrite history with an ingenious conversion. This 1973 sports car is now electric. It's super fast, responsive, and quiet. It's a ride with a point to prove.
This car, its new life as an electric vehicle is about 5 years old now. This is a daily driver, so it's not completely spick and span like a show car.
This classic is back in business. But how do you fit an old gas guzzler with a modern emission-free engine?
Okay, how to build an electric car. You find a car that's suitable, you pull out the internal combustion engine, radiator, the cooling system, the exhaust system, then get my rest for the next shift. I had to design battery boxes. I ordered a motor. It was a long, beautiful process. We opted to put the charging port over here on this side, and for a while I was opening the hood to charge it, so I put in a cap so I can keep the hood closed and still charge it. These are the battery packs, and this car originally came with a mid-engine, big old motor back here. I wanted to use the original Porsche transmission. I like to shift, and it gives you a little bit more maneuverability and choices for power.
All right, Mark, let's see this baby burn.
Here in Hawaii, I looked down at the speedometer. I was going 80 miles an hour one time. I slowed down because you're not supposed to do that here.
Man, your secret is safe with me.
As soon as you press the accelerator, you have full torque. The torque is instant on it. That gives you a faster acceleration rate. 0 to 60 in probably approximately 6.5 minutes, somewhere around there.
0 to 60 in 6 minutes?
Yeah, seconds.
Okay, let's do
Thank you.
6 days.
That's funny. I hope that gets edited out.
Not this time, brother.
I've had this car up to 117 miles an hour, but that was in California.
Anything flies in California, including Mark.
I'm a pilot. Driving this car is a lot like flying an airplane. Well, other than the fact that it doesn't take off and go into the air.
Minor differences, man.
When you go down a hill, it feels like you're gliding in an airplane.
Ain't nothing like the wind in your hair in a homemade ride.
I know every sound, every little nuance of it, because I had it completely apart and put it all back together again. This car has been just an amazing friend, almost. I think everybody should have an electric vehicle. And I think they should drop in price because people should be able to afford these things. They're really fun to drive. And you can have any kind of car you want, any car you've ever dreamed of.
Electric dream into a reality. The Count salutes you. From electric-powered Porsche to elegant E-Type engineering. It's sophisticated, it's high performance, it's a straight-up 60s classic.
It's the look, it's the feel. We love the Series 1 E-Type.
For the purists, messing with this baby in any way would be totally unthinkable. But one company in England is daring to improve on perfection.
If they'd have had the technology available to them at the time when they first created the E-Type, they would have tried to recreate something like this. I don't think they could have done it as well, but that's just a personal opinion on that.
Updated for the 21st century, meet the Evolution E-Type. Built for the road, but with the look of a racer, Enzo Ferrari called the original E-Type the most beautiful car ever made. This British icon epitomized the swinging 60s. Yeah, baby. Now, to keep up with modern-day driving styles while respecting the original vibe, these guys have invented the E-volution.
So this is our Jaguar E-Type Series 1 fixed-head coupe. This is the first of its kind from us. You can see the immaculate paintwork, you can see the lines on the body look just fabulous. But really right now, there's something different here. This model does have electric power steering, it's got air conditioning, and it drives well, it handles well, it brakes well.
It's undeniably gorgeous, but to some people, the 61 E-Type's handling wasn't so pretty.
Most people who've driven a Series 1 E-Type have a few complaints over the handling or the braking. Anything you can think of, we've engineered, redesigned, and fixed the problems.
The good news, you can have one of these babies built. The bad, you'll need at least $500,000.
The hardest bit is getting the immediate bodywork right. All these sheets are laser cut. This has to be done precisely because obviously this is the foundation of the car. If you get it wrong at this stage, you've got untold problems later on. With the outer shell, this is all hand-wheeled, hand-beaten panels. Probably the most important bit, getting that iconic look.
Once this classic has been upgraded to feel like a modern masterpiece, one dude has a sweet job. Taking it for a test ride.
It's like a dream job, really, getting to drive one of these cars. People just stop and stare. It's definitely a head turner. I had to go in an original E-Type before, and there is a massive comparison. Driving an original one, it's like an antique, really. My favourite part of the car is the engine sound.
Oh yeah, brother, and this baby is all dressed up and ready to ride.
It's a full leather interior, where the original ones tend to be vinyl. When you get in one of these, you can just smell petrol and leather, how it's supposed to be, really.
Sounds to me like the perfect cologne. No wonder that this E-Type is a certified ultimate ride. From championing a classic to riding remote control. Man, did I save the best for last. Over in the Netherlands, there's something crazy on the roads.
When people ask me about the car, there are a lot of people that often don't believe me. This is my 2006 Corvette C6, and it's remote control.
You gotta be kidding. An all-American Corvette has been converted into the ultimate remote control toy by a Dutch computer whiz. This is crazy and I love it. A real sports car that you can drive remote control? That's every kid's dream, man. Prince among converters, Bjorn Harms transformed this little rad Corvette by hand. Incredibly, this guy taught himself the skills for this sweet conversion by watching YouTube and TV. But the inspiration for reimagining this beautiful ride, well, that came from a movie classic.
My first idea of building a full-size remote control car was by watching Back to the Future when I was a little kid. And I always had this idea of, man, when I'm older and I get my first car, then I want to try to make my own full-scale remote control car.
He makes it sound so simple. Man, it wasn't.
I had to make a universal motor controller so I could control different type of motors that I've attached to the controls of the car. I control the car with my 4-channel transmitter. It controls the braking, the gear changing, the throttle, and the steering.
This technological tinkering took time and patience.
Building the universal motor controller took me around 1 year. Then it took me around 3 months to make a prototype system. I also made a fail-safe, so that means if the car gets out of range of my transmitter, the brakes starts braking automatically.
This toy is a little out of most kids' budgets.
The entire RC process cost around 3,500 euros, give or take.
It's more expensive than most remote control cars and can do a lot more damage.
The first time I drove the car, I felt pretty scary because I was a little bit nervous on would it actually work properly.
Luckily, Bjorn's computer calculations were spot on.
After testing it, it worked better than I thought. I'm pretty sure there's no other Corvette in the world that controls like this one.
That is ridiculous, and I like it a lot.
Pretty proud of what I've done. This definitely is a dream come true, and especially because I was dreaming of it since I was a little kid.
Ultimate Rides, proving that dreams do come true. We just saw people taking sports cars to new heights and depths that we never thought possible. These sports cars are full of surprises. We'll see you next time on Ultimate Rides.